Here we're back with Glitchy People Change the World. This is session 11, but module 9, where we talk about choosing a creative process. Process can encourage creativity. It can boost your creativity. Physiologist Otto Lowy provides an interesting case study. Early in his scientific career, Lowy developed a theory about chemical transmission. The theory was compelling but difficult to prove, so he just ignored it, put it on the back burner for 17 years. Then one night he had a dream. The dream showed him how to design an experiment for his theory. He turned on the light and wrote it on a scrap of paper. In the morning, he couldn't remember the dream, and he couldn't read his writing. Fortunately, the same idea occurred the next night at 3 a.m. After the dream, Lowy went directly to his laboratory and performed the experiment. He won the 1936 Nobel Prize. The prize was for discoveries relating to chemical transmission of nerve impulses. The dream wasn't simple good luck. He had spent thousands and thousands of hours researching. Then the inspiration came. This is a process that worked for him. In an earlier case, Friedrich August Kekulé von Stradonitz was eminent in the field of chemistry. One day, he fell into a reverie while sitting on a train. He saw in his mind the movement of molecules forming chains. The daydream led to developing his structural theory. Later, again in a daydream, Kekulé pictured benzene molecules, and the molecules connected themselves like a snake, and this led to another chemistry hypothesis. Of the first 5 Nobel Prizes in chemistry, 3 winners were his students. In these examples, scientists developed history-changing ideas by dreaming or daydreaming. But different people have different processes. Teresa Amable, a researcher at Harvard, developed a creativity process model, which we'll see next. This is step 1, identify the problem. So decide what is your objective, what are you trying to do with this process. Step 2, do some preparation where you gather information about the issue. Step 3, you brainstorm solutions. You generate some responses. Step 4, you validate, you choose one of those options as the one you want to do. And step 5, you communicate the chosen option. Go to the organization, say this is what we're going to do. Other process options exist. Most involve similar steps. First, you gather some information, then you let the information incubate. From the information, you generate some ideas. You evaluate all the ideas and choose one of them for execution. Your creative output should be different from other creators, of course. That's what makes it creative. But your process can also be unique. Daniel Goleman, a psychologist, says that creativity does follow a process, but the process is not standardized. So your unique process is as legitimate as anyone's process. So develop your own process. Ignore any creativity system that doesn't fit your personality, thinking style, or life situation. We don't all agree on the best process, but we all recognize that some conditions are important. Experiment to find the conditions that work for you. So again, back to Daniel Goleman, he said, daydreaming incubates creative discovery. This is a book you should read if you have not read it. Our 2 European scientists that we talked about in case studies, they would agree with Goleman. When you create, do you daydream? Do you doodle in your notebook? Do you prefer silence or background noise? Are you best in the early morning or after midnight? The key to success doesn't exist. Self-help gurus love one-size-fits-all solutions. This is some advice you can find even here on YouTube about success from various gurus. The secret to success is sleeping less. You got to get up at 5 o'clock every morning. To be successful, you need to sleep more. Successful people plan more. To be successful, you need to plan less. Reality, sleep rhythms vary between people and many learning styles exist. What type of phone do you prefer? This is an example. Maybe you prefer iOS, the iPhone operating system, or maybe you prefer Android. But you need one of them. Without an operating system, nothing happens. You can't run apps. In the context of what we're talking about here, process is your operating system. Your creative process is the operating system for your creative output. Without a system or structure, you'll see little output. Your process can be simple, like working on your project from 5 o'clock to 5:30 every morning before you go to work. Part of the process can be environment or surroundings. Years ago, I was the president of a small consulting firm, and during that time, I moved my desk every 3 months. For a while, it would face south, and I would turn it to face west. Then, a few months later, it would face north, and these changes helped pull me out of thinking ruts because I was looking at a different wall. It helped me mentally. That was my process. So, change your environment, maybe a quieter room, a noisier room, turn up the room temperature, turn down the room temperature, buy a less comfortable chair, take a screen every day, sit in a forest, change a habit, wake up early when the house is quiet, set up a private area. So think about your process and then meet me back here tomorrow for the next module.